It actually started here. I was invited to come up to the college to look at the insect collection. I'm very interested in issues around nature, species diversity, and then also the way to think about nature and organize it. So I came up and was inspired, and then I went back to my studio in Somerville. And for about 4 months, I cut out hundreds of insects and thousands of other pieces of paper. And the way that my practice goes is that I make work in the studio, and then I show up on site with no design at all. You have 2 or 3 days to invent something. And it's kind of a pressure cooker, because in my studio I can take my time and I can focus on the process of learning about things. But when I get on site, it all works pretty quickly. But I'm also extremely conscious of the other things that are in the gallery. So a lot of the design work has a kind of conversation with some of the other pieces of artwork in the gallery. I fell in love with silhouettes about 30 years ago to project in what they actually understand about that blank space. So when you have a silhouette of something, it's both accurate, but it's also really symbolic. And when I make up an image of a bug or a face, everybody knows stuff. And so what they have to do is that they fill in that blank with their own lives. And then that becomes an exercise of kind of engaging ideas about memory and how we actually recall things. And I think it makes the audience a little bit more of a participant. Everything rhymes with everything else if it's black. So I can put things like this behind me. The other issue is that when I put this up on the wall, it didn't look like this. I had like thousands of butterflies that I brought too, and first it was just like that, and then it was like butterflies and some bugs, and then it was just some bugs, and then I started to realize like there was this conversation with Christina's kind of elliptical pieces, and I also wanted some of the spacing to reflect what was going on in Shelley's work, so it sort of just evolved into this thing where they were frames, and then I started to think a little bit more about the collection that you have, and that's actually different ways of actually creating a frame out of a tray that holds them in. So it became a little bit about science, a little bit about art, a little bit about me, a little bit about the show.